Hello, my name is Calvin Edwards. Proud to announce, open now, the Central Investors Best Interest Center, a place to expose the most dangerous financial criminals personally and the most dangerous financial companies, to expose them with pictures, most importantly, information, and interviews with the goal of ending their careers and driving those businesses out of business. The one thing that can work to do that, the one place open, dedicated to doing that with exposure, public exposure, number one. I have a full commitment to stopping the devastating effects that can come from fraud. We all know what they are. I started off towards this goal by doing investors' best interest interviews. You can see some of the examples here. Now, after my speaking with those in the industries, I am doing something that I think will have even more impact, and that's I'm now concentrating on exposing the most dangerous financial criminals, companies, and the associated people that associate with the criminals and with companies. I seek to expose them all. Scam artists, companies, and also their associates. Expose and isolate them here in one central place. Why I should care about fraud and those that I reach out to should care about fraud? Because it's estimated over as much as 20 times to 40 times as much money is lost through fraud than through regular, what you may call street crime. Let's look at some of the devastating effects that can happen when a person is a victim of fraud. Okay, these are things that I care about and those I contact hopefully should care about. Okay, hard-earned savings can be lost forever. The loss can be generational, not only affecting the person involved, but also his offspring and future generations. It can lead to lifelong debt. After he's already worked for money, he can still be thrust further into lifelong debt. Okay, this is income that will also be missed forever. Okay, so the losses from fraud, we all know, are very devastating and must be stopped before it happens, not after. Now, let's be certain of the main goals that I and those I contact should have, and that's permanently following and ending the careers of scam artists. Following forever, long term, and driving business from companies that are associated with scam artists. And also, we hope to affect those we can find that have had associations with scam artists or companies scam artists have been involved with. Okay, we believe exposure can help prevent or make operations harder for all involved. Okay, so let's look at putting things in perspective here. Caring about the victims of fraud means realizing the harm that can come to the victims of fraud. So the thing to do when we do that, we should realize preventing fraud before it happens is the key. So right here in the Investors Best Interest Center, I believe if we can become well enough known, okay, collect enough pictures and other information, personal information and company information, and stay around long enough and become well enough publicized as the place to come find scam artists, I believe we can negatively impact the careers of scam artists and companies associated with scam artists or that have been involved in fraud. So the main thing is the long-term exposure that we want to give. This will be the key, showing the faces of scam artists from preferably long term and following them throughout their whole career. That's what the Central Investors Best Interest Center wants to concentrate on now. Yes, we specialize in exposure and also letting investors see us meet with financial promoters. But it's not one-time exposure just for a good story or just to let them see the scam artist. It's exposure with a goal. And that goal is driving and ending the careers of scam artists through their being exposed. Driving companies out of business that have been involved in fraud by exposing them. Exposure to end careers and drive companies out of business so they cannot do harm. That's what I emphasize, and that's what the goal is here. A one-time mention and exposure does no good. That's why I concentrate on permanent, long-term exposure. I'll send a link asking anyone who feels the same to help with anything to let us survive long-term. Long-term exposure in a permanent place. We permanently and consistently name and picture scam artists, companies, and associates. Before they can do damage, I look to do damage. Here in one place, that's where the damage to their careers and businesses can be done. Permanent damage to end careers. Scam artists have to be constantly followed. Scam artists have to be hounded for answers. That's why I follow them, and I will also be interviewing them, which is one of my favorite activities. I started off doing investors' best interest, but now I want to demand answers from scam artists, to follow and actually talk to them, expose them visually and through an audible fashion, and store the results here. A place where investors can know they can come to see this exposure. A central place to where the investors can come to meet scam artists or ask why they are hiding. Either way, the message will be clear. Do not do business with anyone you see mentioned here. Scam artists and those that don't act in investors' best interest rely on and depend on their ability to remain hidden. They depend on their ability to move from place to place. That's why I isolate them here. That's why I show them and isolate them here, to make sure they are seen and make sure they cannot move from place to place. Okay, I hope to permanently keep them here for investors to see, taking away anonymity and the ability to move, which are their main allies. I hope to end that ability that they have, that thing that guarantees their success. We know no one would, of course, do business with someone he knew was a scam artist. Okay, so that's why we exist in one central place, to let investors come and see that they are indeed a scam artist. So we know the benefits of exposure in ending scam artists. So, and that a benefit can be effectively made something that's in effect right here in one central place. The concept of exposure can be used here in this central place, the Central Investors Best Interest Center. At the Central Investors Best Interest Center, we hope to remove scam artists' ability to be hidden. And if they can't be hidden, they cannot scam more victims. Help us publicize ourselves by clicking a link and giving us if you have any information on scam artists, taking a second to inform me of scam artists that you may come across or know about, hopefully with pictures and other pertinent information. This will be the place that the public knows they can come to find scam artists. So remember, I'm Calvin Edwards announcing the Central Investors Best Interest Center is finally open. It's a central central place to expose scam and fraud artists and companies and those that don't act in investors' best interest. But it's also a central place where we show those that do want to act in investors' best interest, importantly. Okay? A central place of exposure where we show those that want to help, and most importantly, we show those that want to hurt and attempt to remove them from the industry through our exposure of them. So remember, it's a central place to prevent fraud before it happens. We can do the things that government cannot do. We don't have to wait for a victim. And that's what's key. Preventing victims, not waiting after they are victimized. I have been and will be searching all means to find photos, most importantly, videos and information on scam artists and companies. This will be a place where the activities of scam artists can never be forgotten, and of course, never be forgiven. This can be done in one central place if we can survive long enough and give enough information and publicize the Investors Best Interest Center long enough and widespread enough. Okay, so I will find all means to search and find scam artists. I will search public records. And again, I'm asking those in the financial industry if they know about scam artists and companies. Just take a moment. Be conscious of activities against investors' best interests going around, that's going on around you. Show that you care about preventing fraud. And take a minute to send the information here at the Central Investors Best Interest Center so we can publicize and expose more scam artists, companies, and scam artist associates. Okay. So we'll be searching all methods, and also if a vulnerable investor, importantly, receives a suspicious promotion, he can contact us, preferably with pictures and other information. And we will want to, most importantly, interview the promoter on their behalf before the investor become a victim. Interview the promoter, show his picture, and let investors make the decision, which should be, if I'm correct, do not do business with them.